Okay, I got the transmission out. If you're wondering whether or not you have to take the subframe down, yes, you do. So I got the transmission out. It's the Okay, so I removed the governor. Basically, you just take this cap off and then you can just pull this governor out. And the surrounding bolts here. They said to mark this so you can put it back in the original position. Okay, I got it separated. This is what it looks like. I got it separated. All I did was take these bolts here out. There's two shims. Those two shims right on top of this. And they fell out when I was taking it apart, and I didn't see where they came from, but I'm looking at my book and I believe that's where they came from. This piece right here. This is what it looks like after I took it apart. There's a little screw that goes in there. That screw was in there. Okay, next is there's a gasket in there. Pretty bad shape. Or looks like it's been leaking. This transmission was leaking fluid right at the case right here. So it's probably this gasket was leaking. Okay, this piece comes out now, right here. Looks like this piece, is there a snap ring in there? Looks like it just pulls right out. I'm not sure. But that's the next piece. I just took this gasket out. There's no other. It's this piece right here. That once you take that out, this piece comes out. All right, I haven't figured out how to get this thing off yet, but this piece is sitting on top. It looks like a bearing there. This thing is completely stuck here. It won't turn in either direction, so I don't know if that seems like it's bad. So yeah, it's definitely seized up, I think. This is the piston servo that I took out just now. That circlip's in there pretty good, so I had to hit it. I was hitting it with a mallet while I was prying it out. But so the fluid that came out of there was pretty black. Pretty bad. This car was running, you know, like right before the transmission went out. Basically, I put it in reverse and I heard like a funny noise, and then it wouldn't move in reverse at all. It would go forward, but it wouldn't go in reverse. And I made it home. I couldn't believe it. I drove like 20 miles. I barely made it. I got off the freeway and the car was like, didn't want to move. But I finally made it. I literally made it home. But this piece right here doesn't move. So I'm not sure how to get this part out here. I spent a little while trying to figure this out, and this piece in here was kind of seized up in there. Once I turned this a couple times, this centerpiece part, then this piece loosened up right here. So It was wedged in there pretty good. But the car was wanting to go forward in any gear. It was like kind of like stuck in forward. I don't know why this piece right here was kind of seized up. But once I loosened it up by turning it, then I was able to put the screwdrivers in here, and this thing just lifts right up. It's pretty loose in there. It loosened up once I was able to turn this piece a couple times. So I don't know if I can just pull up on this thing here or not. I'm not sure. It seemed like I could just pull it up, but maybe not. A O-ring, a snap ring. There's a snap ring right in here. Okay, so I just got that snap ring out, and it appears like this whole piece will lift out of there now. This piece right here just lifts right out. I can't hold the phone and do it though. You got to remove that. There's like a little wedge right there. Once you remove that, and also if the car is in park, that parking paw right there will prevent you from taking this out. But you just move this lever right here, and it'll go in there, and then you can just apparently pull this whole thing out. Okay, so I just pulled this part out, and actually that wedge is still in there. That's what's under there. I guess you don't have to take that wedge out because it's right there. Probably have to take it out now though. So I got that snap ring, or not snap ring, it's a thrust washer, or I forget, plastic, whatever you call those things, I forgot. Looks like some clutches down in there. Okay, this piece just lifts right out of here. This whole piece right here just lifts out. It's got a shim right there, and this is all loose, so it's gonna come apart. When you set it down, it comes apart. This piece drops down. That's what it looks like. Okay, now we got all this here. Here's this part pulls out. Yeah, all this pulls out. I think I found the problem. I just took this piece out right here. I just found the problem. You take this piece out here. Oops, there's a bearing. That metal spring, you can see it's broken. That metal spring thingy is broken. That's probably what happened. You can see right there, there's a piece of metal, or something's broken. There's a piece that's broken right there. So that's probably why it was stuck in forward. That's probably why it was stuck in forward. This washer is just, which way does this go? Like that? Like that. It goes like that. It's got that part goes down. That part goes down in there. And then we also got an O-ring there that looks like is damaged or something. I don't know. Can't really tell. That's definitely broken pieces right there. That part comes out. That's where the broken piece is. Down there, there's that bearing. Looks like a little bearing right there. And I think that's in a, I gotta be careful with that. That's a lot of pieces. These clutches look all right though. Those outside clutches look all right. But these where were the other ones? Oh, the ones in there. They look kind of dark. I don't know. They might be all right, but I'll have to check those out. That's what the that spring broke. This spring gets a lot of use, probably. It just broke. Looks like there's a seal or something there, but I'm not sure. Okay, so I took this piece off here, and these are clutches here. So I'll try to get that ring thing out of there. And there's like the piece of the rubber is right there, and then this piece here is way off too. So I don't know if this whole thing needs to be replaced, or I'm trying to take this snap ring out right now. I finally got my screwdriver underneath it, but yeah, this whole piece is. So what happened was it got stuck in forward. Okay, looks like that's next. Okay, just lift it out, and basically that's the pump right there. Or I believe there's springs there. I'll take that out. Okay, so I just took this snap ring off, and there's a clutch down in here. I took these clutches out right here. And there's a piston down in there, and I just bought a new piston. I don't know if this one might not be worn out, but I figure might as well put that in there. So first what you do is you try to spread it. You spread this snap ring with I spread it with these needle nose pliers. These needle nose pliers right here. And then once I was able to get the screwdriver behind it, then I took this tool right here, and I was able to get underneath it and lift it up. That's the best way to do it. So basically you want like a screw with a, this is my setup right here. It's, you know, it works. These pencils are a little weak, but they manage to hold. But if you have like some metal, you definitely need access to the top to get this spring back on. Actually, yeah, you need it to get it off too, because you have to put your screwdriver in between, you know, to get it off. So you definitely need access on the top. Okay, the best way to get this spring back on, what you do is you get like 3 screwdrivers. You push, first what you do is you hold this piece down right here. You get this in, and you hold it with the screwdriver. Then you take another screwdriver and you just keep working it all the way around. Eventually, you'll be able to just push that spring right back on. This place right here. And you'll be able to just push it right on. So what happened was when I was driving the car, obviously the clutches were probably slipping. That's why I wasn't able, sometimes the car didn't want to move. But you could see that they're like, the clutches are worn down to the metal because there wasn't enough pressure because that spring was broken. So what I ended up doing was just mixing and matching the good ones with the new ones with the existing ones. If I put all the new ones in one clutch pack, they ended up they're too thick. It was too thick, so I had to mix them and try to space in there, you know, perfect. Also with this these clutches, notice that they come in different diameters, so definitely check the diameter of the clutches before you plan on ordering them, because some of them are like 5 inches and some of them are like 4.75. Okay, I got that going in there. And then this piece, got the new one. Piece goes in there. All right, so what I can tell is that this spring, I just got the new one, and apparently the way the book is saying, it goes in with the they call it the convex side facing towards the piston, which would be like this. When I took it apart, obviously it was broken, and it appeared that it was you know, the opposite. But yeah, according to the book, this is how it goes in. And that snap ring that goes on the edge there, that's going to be hard to get in, because it's pretty, you know, that spring has a lot of tension. Somehow you got to like compress that spring down so you can get that snap ring in there. Apparently, according to the book, and that's the way it goes, with the those things facing down. I got the new piston in, and that's the way it goes. Best way to get the snap ring back in is you put the middle of it, leave the ends out, and then once you get that middle part in, if you just work your fingers all the way around, it'll go in. You don't have to use any tool or anything. Just put the middle in first, leave the ends out, and then you can just work it all the way around on both sides. Just use like a needle nose pliers, just go all the way around. Make sure that snap ring is up against this, because there's a lot of tension in there. And then that's about all I did. So just use like a pair of needle nose. Okay, so I took all the screws out of that spring right there. So I just have to lift that out. I guess that's the pump down there. It says O-rings on it and stuff. Those are the sealing rings. The sealing rings go on there. Okay, these sealing rings, they're different sizes. They're different sizes. Okay, I got the sealing rings on. Okay, I'm gonna put this in. I don't know if you're supposed to put fluid on this part here. You probably want to put a lot of gel and stuff in here. And what I did was I soaked this whole thing in. Well, first I cleaned it really good in case there was any like metal. Because I found a bunch of little metal pieces in the bottom. So some of those did get in the pump, I believe. Because I did find some metal, little tiny pieces in there. So basically I cleaned this and then soaked it in transmission fluid. I'm going to be putting it in now. Basically just drop it in. Try to line up, there's like a, that hole with that's indented right there. You try to line that up with, I think it's this part right here, like this right here lines up right there. But like I said, at one point it'll drop down. If you have it in wrong, it's like not seated in there right. So, but the screws will definitely won't go in. I don't believe. Basically, just turn this over and drop it down in there. Okay, I got this part back in. You can see it has to line up with that. Basically, you have to get that thing back in so it lines up right there. Okay, I'm going to be putting the servo piston back in. And it's got 2 O-rings. And then it's got this seal right here. And you can see how it goes on there. It's kind of like it's got that lip right there. Goes on. Another seal right there. And one thing I noticed is when you try to get this snap ring back in, you have to lift up on this piece right here, otherwise it doesn't want to go in. So I finally figured that out. I was thinking maybe those clutches were I think the first gear clutches on the case, or whatever those clutches are. I thought maybe those were too thick because I put new ones in, but it's pretty much looks like you just lift this piece up right here and then you can get the snap ring in. Gaskets on there. Here's the other gasket right here. It goes on the other side of that metal plate. Let's take this piece out. Looks like the other sealing rings are right there. Just have to work this down, get it on here. This bearing, or this seal that's on here, if you grab it with a pair of channel locks, vice grips or whatever, and then you can hammer it off, basically. So there's another seal right there. So I'm going to use my dowel tool that I made for the power steering. I'm just going to put it in this end and then catch it and then push it out that way. There's also an O-ring right here. So I'm gonna hit this seal in there with the. I'm gonna try to hit it in like this. But that seal is flush. It's possible to hit it too far down. It's only supposed to be, you know, on the surface with the that first ridge right there. It's not supposed to go any farther down. That's how it was. The only way I could get that seal on right there, I had to put it in my press. There's no other way. That thing is, it's just, you can't get it on straight if you don't have like a press. It keeps wanting to just, you know, go on crooked. Even then, it's on just a little crooked, but at least it's, the other way, it's like one edge will not go down over. So it's about the only way I could figure out how to do it. Okay, just replace that seal right there. And then this seal goes on right here. This seal goes on right here. Knock that one in there. Right there. So it seals right there. It's 2 seals. The repair manual I have doesn't really, it's not very specific on how to replace the seals in here. There's a clip that I knocked out, and this whole assembly just is under spring load. There's a spring right there, and this thing just came flying out of there. So I'm going to replace all the seals in there. There is something behind here, like a clip of some kind. I can't get that plug out of there without damaging it, so I don't want to. I figured it'd be easier to do it this way. But there's definitely a heavy-duty spring in here. I don't know if it's going to be very hard to get this back in. But this car did have a lot of leaking issues around the. There's actually 2 seals. So it looks like there's a bearing seal in there. And the kit doesn't come with that, so I don't know. That's probably not something you need to replace necessarily, but it comes with this seal right here. I don't have a bearing or a seal puller, so I'm just trying to get this seal out right here. This metal, this green metal, or this metal ring that the seal sits in is very soft metal. And so I don't want to bend it. But I almost got it out now. All right, so I'm putting the new seal in. I'm using this mallet. To tap it in, and it's working pretty good. Okay, so I got my shop press set up. I'm gonna have to press that piece, that axle, whatever you call that, down so I can get that clip back on there. Okay, I got everything on there. Okay. Now I gotta just press that down. All right, so you can see it's coming down now. There it is. There's the little groove there for the clip to go in. But you definitely should do this before you take the clip out too, because all that tension in there, it's probably not good for that clip to be pushed out of there. All right, so I got it on there. I got to take the other side off. I spun it around just to make sure that it was on there. Now I just have to release my jack. I just have to release the jack. All right, so I got set up for the other side. Top one there. I gotta get that top one out. And I compress it now so it's that spring the thing won't fly out of there. This got bent right here, this slightly bent. I think I still straighten it out where this seal goes. When I was taking it out of the car, I didn't think I was going to try to get it out without taking the subframe down. And this piece right here is the only thing that prevents you from pretty much taking it out, but it catches on the the flywheel actually damaged it a little bit, but I can bend it back. Just goes in like that. Right, I had it right. Goes in like that. So I got the old seal out, and new one goes right in there. Just have to hit that in with a mallet. So that's where the new seal goes, right in there. I just have to hit that in with a mallet. There's nothing inside. There's no, that seal is for the bearing, and the kit doesn't come with it, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Don't forget that piece there. So you gotta have two boards, because this piece down here has to go like that. And this piece here, we get the spring, this thing, this thing. All this for just to replace this seal right here. That seal down in there is for the bearing, and it doesn't come with that in the kit. Okay, that's it. And then just press it down. So I got that rigged up so it'll push it down. You don't want to force anything either, because there's little, there's gears and stuff in there. So if it's you gotta be careful that you don't mess it up too. But this transmission went about 200 and almost 300,000 miles. So you can see that, it's not there yet until I actually put pressure on it. The other one is right there. And that's the one I just did. But, you see it's not down yet. Those red marks, I just put those there thinking maybe I put the snap ring back in the same exact, the way it was in there before. It's probably not necessary. Trying to do the jack at the same time. There it is. And that thing pretty goes right to that axle right there and pushes down on it a little bit, so there's not much clearance in there. Okay, I think that's it. I held it with one finger, and then I just took this socket with an extension and then just hammered it on there. Okay, I'm about ready to put the cover back on. Everything seems to be working. Got the gasket on there. I've actually found them on the ground like a little while later. I didn't see them fall out originally. I was able to get those shims in there with that new seal, but it wasn't easy. Okay, I got the new seal on there. This is all a one-piece seal. Looks like it's gonna be I'm gonna be putting it back together right now. This is what it looks like when it's put together. Now, this inner piece, right, that part in the middle there, when I put it back together, it was out about like maybe an inch. The reason I know it's supposed to be like this is because when I took a video of it right when I got out of the car, this is how it was. That I had to sort of hit it to go so it's even. These two have to pretty much be even. This is what drives the pump that pumps the fluid. This piece right here, and this piece on the inside, that's what turns the wheels. That's the way it is. I'm putting the governor back in. This goes down in here. Not sure how it goes, but there it goes. This goes all the way down in there. And then if I turn these wheels, you can see how the governor turns. So apparently it has something to do with these things on top. It tells the car when to shift. And here's the cap that goes on top. Cap goes on top, and then this piece goes on there. Holds it on there. Okay, I'm gonna put the gear oil in now. I'm thinking it's easier now than it's kind of hard to get to when it's on the car. So I'll just put the gear oil in now. I got this gear oil. I don't know if this is the right one. It says 90 is supposed to be the one to use. This is the only one they had, so hopefully this will be all right. It says it takes half a quart. Okay, so I got the transmission about ready to get it back in. Ready to get it back in. So I got it under the car now. So it's just a matter of lining it up there. There's the flywheel there. Or the pressure, the drive plate they call it. The drive plate right there. There's a little metal shield or cover that you put on. It goes on the motor, on the engine side. Goes on the engine side. You have to like just kind of loop it around. That's where the starter goes right there.